So now you understand how to do a simple overlay transition. However, if you're going to spend all this time creating advanced scenes, all these cool 3D animations, we might as well spend some more time on our transitions so they look more professional. So now I will show you the most advanced way you can transition between your scenes and my personal favorite method. Okay, so I'm on this same composition that I used to explain the overlay transition, and let's just have a look at the overlay transition once again, if I can play it. Okay, as you can see, it's just a simple flash. It does the job, however, it's not very realistic in my opinion. I think we can make this a lot more realistic, and the way I'm going to do this is firstly just to explain what I'm going to do, I'm going to stack a bunch of transitions on top of each other so it creates a really cool effect. And oftentimes I stack 2 to 4 transitions on top of each other just to create really smooth and realistic transitions. All right, so first of all, I'm going to stack a flash transition in the middle of it. So even though this is already a flash, we can make it a pitch white flash, if you get what I mean. So I'm going to create a white solid, Control Y, and OK. So this creates a white solid, and what I can do, sorry, I just opened the draw option, is I'm going to trim this in order to make it shorter. And what this will allow us to do is have a frame or two of just white. And this will basically make our transition look a lot more like a flash, because this, although it is still a flash, it's not pitch white. And this pitch white just allows us to hide any changes in the background. So that's the first layer to it. All right, so this is starting to look good. Now, I'm actually going to turn down the opacity of this just a little bit to 90%. Okay, cool. Now, how do we improve this even more? And you usually want the film burn above the white layer. Okay, so how do we improve this even more? So we already have this flash. What's another thing we can add? Now, I know this is just a 2D asset. However, I'll provide an example where we use 3D movement as well to make the transition even more realistic. Okay, so we're going to have Joseph. Actually, we're just going to add a camera first. And we're going to add a 3D camera, and we're going to animate the position. So the transition starts here, so we'll have the position here, and the position ends here, and the transition ends here, so we'll have a keyframe here. So basically, what we want to do is actually, we're going to make this a one-node camera just for this demonstration. Okay, so we're going to have it move down as well as zoom in just to create some extra realistic movement. And the way we can counteract this with our layer so everything still looks in place as well. And I'm just going to change the scale a bit to scale it down, and I'm going to drag the layer of Joseph so just we can see it's about there and there. Yeah, that looks good to me. So actually we can move this down even more just so we have more room to play with here. So yeah, okay. And we can move this down even, we can move the camera down even more so it finds my picture. And what we want to do is add this graph to it, the golden graph when it comes to animations, and we're going to drag this out a little bit. So let's see what this transition looks like now. And we're going to actually move this keyframe forward a little bit. Okay, so now you can see there's movement, there's an overlay, and there's also an extra flash on top of it. But that's not enough. We've got to add even more layers to this transition. So here's what I like to do. Instead of using just one overlay, why not use 4 overlays? Okay, so as I was saying, we can stack a bunch more transitions on top of this one flash transition. So what I've gone ahead and done is imported a bunch of other transitions. Here's another film burn style transition. Here's a glitch transition. And here is a lightning bolt. This probably won't look very good, but I'm just demonstrating what you can do when it comes to stacking transitions on top of each other. All right, let's just have this here. Let's cut them all so it matches with, okay, so the lightning, okay, that's a good point to, okay, this is a good place to start. And I'm just gonna cut it, and then here, I'm going to cut it once again. And here's the lightning. And then now for the glitch, it can, and I'm going to change the blend mode to screen for all of them as well. And for the glitch, yeah, this isn't going to look very good, but this is just a demonstration. I'm going to have it here, and then it's going to end here. We're going to have it as screen as well. Okay, and we need to do a rotation by 90 degrees for the glitch. Actually, maybe not. We just need to make it bigger. All right, so scale. What is happening here? Oh no, is it the glitch? All right. Okay, the glitch. Okay, this is strange. There's just a white border. Anyways, all right. Let's change this one as well. Change the blend mode to screen, and then what we're going to do is, yeah, you basically can't see anything when it's white by default. And we're going to trim this like this, and then here's the transition now. So basically you can see we've got a bunch of textures and overlays on top of each other, and it actually doesn't look too bad. It actually looks pretty good. And it's just a more advanced animation. However, we're not done yet. Guess what? We can null link the camera movement. So we can make it even more smooth by adding just more movements. All right. So I'm going to use the rotation keyframe, and I'm going to have the rotation starting. Okay, we got to link this first. All right. I'm going to have the rotation start like this. And then by this point, it's going to be positive 32. All right. So let's see how this looks. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it will work. I just got to make sure that my character is in the frame. Okay, let's see how this looks. And of course, make the graph correct. All right, so this is the final transition we've come up with. And to be honest, this is very excessive. You wouldn't normally do this for a video. You normally just stack 2 or 3 of these different smooth animation aspects that I've shown you. But here's an animation with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of transition stacked on top of each other. Let's see how it looks. Okay, you have Joseph, and it rotates into me. And this actually looks better than I expected. I didn't think that these layers would actually work together this well. However, this is something that we could achieve, and we could even extend this movement out a bit more so it's even smoother. Yeah, and that just looks great. And when you do transitions for your 3D scenes from now on, I want to see at least 2 layers of transition stacked on top of each other. No more one film burn overlay and that's done. If you're going to spend several hours on your scene and your animations, make sure you spend at least some time on your transitions and make them look professional, smooth, and overall much more engaging for the viewer, like this.